Great. I know that you're a football enthusiast and a football writer, but I also know you're a lifelong Lakers fan and really do follow basketball. So I figured, why not have you start joining us with this Prizm Fast Break. So here we go. We're gonna jump into it. It's break 852, the 2021 Prizm Fast Break. Pick your team. So feel free to just let me know any of your thoughts on any of the players that we pull here this evening. Alrighty. We're going with Sequoia Demboya of the Pistons, and that's going to Robin. Robin, welcome to BreakTraders. Remember, you can use promo code NEWBT for 20% off your first purchase. Then we've got Luke Kennard with the Pistons, DeMar DeRozan with the Spurs, a Disco Harry Giles Jr. of the Sacramento Kings going to Carl, followed up by a Patrick Beverley. Not too exciting of a pack right there.
No, not at all.
We got Gary Harris of the Nuggets, followed by Devontae Graham of the Hornets, a Disco Isaac Okoro RC of the Cavs, and that's going to T-Page. Then we've got a Downtown Russell Westbrook and Terrence Davis from the Raptors. What do you think of Isaac Okoro's outlook, Sean?
I mean, he's got a ways to go. He had a little bit of a slow start to the rookie year. He also plays for the Cavs, and they're not too great. So we'll see.
We will see. And that's the variation there. We've got Tim Duncan of the Spurs, and then we've got a James Wiseman RC of Golden State. James Wiseman of Golden State, and that's going to be going to Anthony.
Love James Wiseman though.
Yeah, he's a pretty solid player. The Golden State really got super lucky with this whole injury to Steph Curry to getting a top pick last year. We got a blue Dorian Finney-Smith out of 175. Ooh, we've got a question in the chat here, Sean. What do you think? Who's a bigger flopper? LeBron James or Russell Westbrook? Then we've got Josh Okogie of Minnesota and Frank Ntilikina of the Knicks.
So, as a Lakers fan, I'm also a big anti-LeBron fan, so I'm going to go with LeBron because, to me, he takes the title of just softest player in the NBA regardless. So. Softest
player in the NBA. What a take. Klay Thompson of the Golden State Warriors, Darius Garland of the Cavs. We got a CJ Ellerby RC of the Portland Trailblazers, and that's going to Kevin. Kevin, welcome to BreakTraders. Great to see you. Then we've got Mitchell Robinson of the Knicks and a Disco Chris Paul of the Oklahoma City Thunder, now of the Phoenix Suns. And holy smokes, is he putting them on his back.
He's having a playoffs for sure. I was talking to people last night. I told them I think they're going to the chip.
That'd be great. I would have no complaints there. We've got Royce O'Neal of the Jazz, Cameron Johnson of the Suns, a Tyrese Maxey RC of the 76ers going to Nick. And then we've got a widescreen Kawhi Leonard and Daniel Tice of the Celtics. We got another question for you here, Sean. Do you believe Tyler Hero is an up-and-coming player, up-and-coming star, or do you think he's just going to be a middle-of-the-road player?
Tyler Hero disappointed me this year after coming out hot and being a big part of their championship run last year. I almost feel like he needs to refocus on basketball and kind of stay away from the Instagram models if he wants to take that next step in his career.
Got it. Rudy Gay of the Spurs, Devin Booker of the Suns, and then we've got a Savon Lee. This is out of 75. Out of 75, Savon Lee of the Pistons. That's a solid hit for Robin in their first time with BreakTraders. Then we've got Kevin Knox the second of the Knicks, and Miles Bridges of the Hornets to wrap up that pack. Cynthia agreed with your LeBron take, by the way. She's a believer that he's the flopper. I didn't even think Westbrook was known for flopping. Like, I thought he's like one of the hardest players in the league. Blake Griffin of the Pistons. We've got Elijah Hughes, RC of the Jazz, going to Nick. Then we've got Brandon Clark of the Grizzlies. Dennis Schroeder Disco of the Oklahoma City Thunder, going to Eden, followed by the Thunder from Down Under, Steven Adams. We've got Jackson Hayes of the New Orleans Pelicans, followed by Contavious Caldwell-Pope of the Lakers. A Cassius Stanley RC of the Indiana Pacers, going to Austin. Austin, welcome to BreakTraders. Great to see all these new faces tonight. We've got a Fearless Giannis of the Milwaukee Bucks. And Giannis came through, and the Bucks had a nice victory on Thursday night there against the Nets, followed by Wesley Matthews with the Bucks as well. Alrighty, after this pack, we will be halfway through this break. Victor Oladipo of the Pacers, Joe Ingles of the Jazz, a red Kevin Porter Jr. of the Cleveland Cavaliers, going to Rebecca. Then we've got Jaren Jackson of the Grizzlies and Thomas Sedorensky of the Bulls.
Watch Kevin Porter. Once he got to Houston, he really started to light it up. So he could be someone who has a big jump next year.
Awesome. Kevin Porter, you heard it here first. Put him on your watch list. Malik Monk of the Hornets, and then a Tyler Bay of the Dallas Mavericks, going to Adrian. Adrian, welcome to BreakTraders. Great to see you. Hope you get into some of our other breaks tonight. Remember, it's the PRIZM release party, so we're doing 30% off all of our PRIZM draft pick breaks. We got Kawhi Leonard of the Clippers. Then it's Denny Avdija of the Washington Wizards, and that's a disco, and that's going to Crimson King. Followed by Ivica Zubac of the Clippers. LaMelo Ball. Sean, is LaMelo Ball the real deal or just another overhyped player?
He's definitely better than his brother, in my opinion. It's hard to argue with the season he had once he got put into the starting lineup. I expect him only to get better.
Expect him only to get better. Brett S. has it feel that people constantly misspelling your name, but that's, you don't see the chat, so you don't realize everyone's spelling you E-A-N. Bogdan Bogdanovic of the Jazz, Brook Lopez of the Bucks, and here's our auto, and it's going to be David Robinson, fast break.
That's a nice card.
It is, but it's a very disappointing auto in this product. Sean's not a big trading card enthusiast, so he wouldn't realize we're chasing the rookie autos in the PRIZM fast break product. A fearless LeBron James of the Lakers, going to Anthony.
Haha, fearless.
Then Carmelo Anthony of the Portland Trailblazers. I also like that card, and I really like David Robinson. Like, just an absolute, the Admiral, just an absolute monster of a big man. And that's a good get for Zach in his first break with BreakTraders. Michael Porter Jr. of the Nuggets. Then we got Udoka Azubuike of the Jazz. Sean likes the Lakers, but dislikes LeBron. Then we've got Josh Okogie of the Minnesota Timberwolves, going to Chris. That's a blue one there. Then we got James Harden of the Rockets and Cam Reddish of the Hawks. The Hawks really kind of gave up last night.
Yeah, they're struggling with Hunter out for the rest of the season, and Cam Reddish isn't back. They're a team that's going to be real dangerous next year or the year after, though.
Paul Millsap of the Nuggets, Colin Sexton of the Cavs. We got Aaron Naismith of the Boston Celtics, going to Jacob in Jacob's first break. And then a disco Kristaps Porzingis of the Mavs, going to Adrian. And Juan Gomez of the Timberwolves, going to Chris. We've got Kobe White of the Bulls, followed by Joe Harris of the Nets, Miles Turner of the Pacers, of Fireworks Kyrie Irving, and Troy Brown Jr. of the Washington Wizards. Alrighty. 4 packs left. Weak break so far. Let's see if we can turn this around. Danilo Gallinari of the Thunder. Desmond Bain of the Memphis Grizzlies. Then we've got CJ McCollum, silver of the Trailblazers, going to Kevin, and Kevin's first break with us. Welcome. Lou Williams of the Clippers and Anthony Davis of the Lakers. I wonder if Kyrie's still a flat earther, Brett. Like, I know he was, but like, you gotta like, do those people just get smarter? Like, I'm not sure what happens when you're a flat earth believer there. Allen Iverson of the Sixers, Skylar Mars of the Atlanta Hawks, going to Matthew. Then we've got Kendrick Nunn of the Heat, and a Disco Zion of the New Orleans Pelicans going to Jonathan. Disco Zion Williamson, and Karl Anthony Towns of the Timberwolves to finish that pack, and we've got 2 left. Got it. John Perillo disagrees with your LeBron take, but he likes your LaMelo Ball take. He's a big LeBron fan. 1 in 1,000 you meet believe the earth is flat. Interesting. Jeff Teague of the Hawks, Montrezl Harrell of the Clippers, and we've got Killian Hayes of the Detroit Pistons, and then we've got the throwback Kevin Durant of the Nets going to Garrett. Garrett in his first break here.
You know, I saw Kevin Durant in his rookie year when he was playing in Seattle. Lost in double overtime to Kobe, who had like 49 points, including the game winner in double OT. That was quite the experience. Ben
Simmons of the Sixers. I remember when you went to that game. Yeah, I mean, and if you're like Kyrie Irving, like, you have so much money, you could just like travel around the world once in a plane, like, without stopping. And that cost you like one of your game checks, if that. Matt Dellavedova of the Cavs, Langston Galloway of the Pistons, and then a red Zion. A red Zion right there going, and that's out of 125, and that's going to Jonathan. Wow, if this was last year's product, we'd be having a hell of a break right now. And then we've got Austin Rivers of the Rockets and Kyrie Irving of the Nets to finish them off. Alrighty, let's run down these rookies and then get into our featured cards. Killian Hayes of the Pistons going to Robin, followed by Skylar Mars of the Hawks going to Matthew. Desmond Bain of the Grizzlies going to Jonathan. Aaron Naismith of the Celtics going to Jacob. Udeka Azubuike of the Jazz going to Nick. Tyler Bay of the Mavs to Adrian. Cassius Stanley of the Pacers going to Austin. Elijah Hughes of the Jazz to Nick. Tyrese Maxey of the Sixers going to Nick. And CJ Ellerby of the Trailblazers going to Kevin. And now on to our featured cards. We've got the Isaac Okoro Disco variation of the Cleveland Cavs going to Rebecca, followed by the Denny Avajado Disco of the Wizards going to Crimson King. Then we've got a James Wiseman base RC of the Golden State Warriors going to Anthony, followed up by a Savon Lee purple out of 75 of the Detroit Pistons going to Robin, followed by the double Zions here, the disco and then the red disco, and those are going to Jonathan. And then the Kevin Durant throwback, and then our auto to finish it off is David Robinson, the Admiral of the Spurs, and that's going to Zach. And that's the end of break number 852.